What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Caleb Sells live stream. August was a crazy month of sales for me. I had some of my worst weeks since I became a full-time reseller, and then I followed it up with two really good weeks. And I think the key to the good weeks are having really awesome items in your store. Good items are always going to sell. These items sell fast and they sell for a good amount of money. So I'm going to show you guys the highlights from my month of August sales, everything that sold for $40 or more plus shipping. So I'm going to open up this LaCroix. Cheers. Sparkling water, so refreshing. And let's jump into it. This is live, so if you're here in the chat, say what's up. All right, this first one is the only sale that was not actually over $40. This was under. Obviously, you can see on the screen this was $30, but I just thought this was such an interesting sale. Paid $12 for this Carhartt jacket at a local thrift store. The reason it was priced so affordably is you can see the sleeves were cut off. So this is like a short sleeve Carhartt jacket. I just thought this thing was so interesting. I do like to pick up Carhartt anytime I can. As you guys know, I try to pick up those really good items, even if I have to pay up or they're not perfect, because I just want to, for lack of a better term, keep them from my competition. The thing that I thought this was the most interesting about this particular item is they sewed the cuff. So they must have cut the cuff from the sleeve and then sewed it on the short sleeve part. So it actually has the cuff here. I just found that so interesting. But either way, I made money on it. I'm glad I made money on it. Being such an obscure and weird item, no complaints. So these first items are going to be on Poshmark, and then we will jump into the eBay sales. The eBay sales do rank from the cheapest to the most expensive. So stick around to the end to see what the best items I sold are. Poshmark, it's just kind of in random order based on when I sold them. So these were from the beginning of the month. As you can see, sold on my birthday, August 3rd. Some marine layer shorts. I got these at the Marshall's Yellow Tag sales event. I paid $16 for these. Marine Layer is an excellent brand to be on the lookout for. And it actually says the model name right here, Saturday Short. If you find these used, they do have a style code. I think it's on the tag that I'm holding down with my thumb here, because I was just showing the material here, but that's the style code. So you can type that into Google and get that model name of Saturday Short. I think these sold in like a day for $47. So 16 into 47, really happy with that. Here we have a nice vintage military item sale. Honestly, just kind of with this category, thanks to Big Yumbo. Heard about these OG 107 pants in his videos, and they sold quick for $50. Probably could have gotten a little bit more if I waited for the right buyer on eBay, but I had $750 into these and happy to move these quickly for $50. All right, here we have a backpack. This brand is called Incase. You can see it right there. I looked on their website to figure out this was the Icon backpack in the Conti Gray, and I put in what computer it was actually made for, because they make bags specific to the computer that you're going to put in there, so it has a really nice snug fit. This one did have a random Fitbit logo embroidered on there. I don't think that really helped or hurt the value, but this is the brand you're looking for, Incase, and it kind of has like a plastic logo. I don't know if it's like stamped or glued on there or what, but that's how you can identify it. I first think I saw this brand on like Instagrams. That's why I knew to look it up. And I paid $9 for this at a local thrift store. All right, if you watched one of my thrift haul battles, this was one of my items. I think I paid 15 for it. It could be 9 or 12. I can't quite remember. But it sold for $40 very quickly on Poshmark. Now, when it comes to selling NFL items, I do recommend accepting offers early and often on teams that are not very good, let's just say. The Giants don't project to be a very good team. So right now, their fans still have hope. So these have a chance of selling. But once we get midway or to the end of the season, when their team's kind of out of playoff contention, those buyers are going to be less excited about supporting their team. Cliff Angle, I noticed when I was looking this up to get the comps that they make sweaters, vintage sweaters for lots of different sports teams, and they all seem to be doing very well. So that's kind of the bolo to remember from this item. Here we have some Japanese selvage denim jeans. Anytime you see Japan, relaxed selvage is what it says right there. It's kind of blurry. Um, Here's a better picture. Relaxed selvage. And you can see in the picture here, it has a nice selvage denim. You can see in the cuff there. I would have thought these would sell for more, but they did have some flaws on them. So I'm actually happy that they sold on Poshmark because I pointed to the flaws and disclosed the flaws. They can't return these item, or you can't return on Poshmark for the item not fitting or something like that. So I was happy to get these sold quickly and on Poshmark where they're not going to get returned. Here we have some On Cloud shoes. These are the Cloudventure Peak model. These honestly could have sold for a little bit more, but they were very discolored. I don't know if you can see that in here. So once again, it's a great item to sell on Poshmark because I disclosed those discolorations. They can't be returned. So here we have one of the slower selling items on the list. Blazers in general are typically slower selling items because they have just such a specific fit. You have to have the shoulder, the chest, the length, the sleeves all fitting. And if you don't want to pay to get it tailored, having all those things line up can be tricky. This one was a vintage Orvis corduroy blazer. I had good comps when I picked it up, but I do think that this was a slower selling item. So I'd only recommend picking this up if you were getting it at an affordable price. I wouldn't really pay up for an Orvis corduroy blazer, but nonetheless, I think I paid between $5 and $6 for this at a Goodwill that does like bulk pricing based on the item type. So yeah, really happy with that sale. Here we have, whoa, where am I going? Here we have a Suit Supply blazer. This was the Havana Unlined Traveler model, which I found on the tag. It actually said all that on the tag right on here. And it actually did have upgraded fabric. This F Illy Cerruti. I don't know. If it's Italian, I'm not Italian. If it's not Italian, I don't know what that name is. But either way, when I looked that up on eBay, it actually did seem like that was a premium fabric. Of course, it's sold on Poshmark, but either way, I knew to list this a little bit higher. Suit Supply can be good in good sizes, good materials, or if you get it affordably, but they do have some stuff that just sits. So I recommend with all blazers, just kind of doing the research because like I said, that slower sell through rate can really bog down your store. Here we have an Ariat Work FR sweatshirt. This sold for more than I thought. When I first saw this, I thought that's probably like a $25 item. I paid $6 for it, so I didn't really think about it. Then when I looked it up, it actually had really good comps in that $40 to $45 range. So very happy with that. You can see Ariat Work FR, good size of 2XL. I most commonly find the jeans. This is my first time finding like a quarter zip sweatshirt, and it still sold well. I wasn't surprised because that's such a strong brand. Here we have some Doer jeans. These are pretty self-explanatory. Most YouTuber reseller people are talking about these now. 40, I feel like, is like a little bit on the high end of the market. I would say these are more typically like a 30 to maybe 40 at the top end dollar jean now. They used to sell for a little bit more. The gray color, I do like this faded out gray color. I do feel like that's a relatively popular style that sells well for me across all models of jeans. So maybe that helped. But either way, the brand is really strong with a good sell-through rate. So not surprised these sold quickly for good money. Okay, I found this at another store that does like bulk pricing. So I think their jackets, like blazer jackets, were $7 or maybe $8, and then suits were 10, like full suits, two piece. So either $7 or $8 into 70. This was a New Tags Ralph Lauren blazer. It was wool and cashmere blend, which definitely elevated the value. The retail price on this was, I think it was like $400 that I could see on the tag. Once again, another item I'm very glad sold on Poshmark because of no returns. Let's see if I can zoom in here. So this was just a Ralph Lauren. If you notice here, I did not put Ralph Lauren because in search, people aren't going to type in Ralph twice, or if they do, the search isn't going to recognize that as a new word. So I'm just trying to optimize this in search, even though it's Ralph Lauren. I just put Ralph Lauren in the title and then add in other keywords instead of just duplicating words within my title. I do want to say, like I mentioned when I first opened this, if you're just now joining, that August was a roller coaster of sales for me. I had two of my worst weeks since I started full-time reselling. And then I followed that up with two really good sales weeks. Once again, I think the items that are in this video are the reason that I was able to have two really good weeks and still have a really good month overall, even having some down weeks. But one thing that has really helped me is cross-listing to Poshmark. You'll see later on, I think it's the last Poshmark sale. One added benefit to the no returns and just having more eyeballs and another platform to kind of be a backup is some items just sell better on Poshmark. I don't buy a lot of women's items, but when I come across good ones or NuaTags women's items, they do just sell better on Poshmark for me. So that's one little added benefit to get a nice little bonus. All right, let's catch up on the chat a little bit. Mark's here, Putz is here, Big John's here, Miss Lachey is here, Luigi's here. Someone know Academics brand, is it good for resale on men's? I think they have a couple good like baggy Y2K styles, but I don't think the brand in itself is overly good. Wendy says women's doer is not so great, FYI. Okay, so I'll have to take your word for it because I've never found the women's jeans, but definitely look it up if it's women's. Men's, you're probably good if it's an affordable price. If you're paying up, I recommend looking things up if you're paying up every time. And Miss Lachey, yeah, same thing I was kind of saying with the Academics brand. All right, here we have a Robert Graham flip cuff shirt. Great size of 2XL, excellent print with this geometric print. Really cool flip cuff here. $50 sale. Yeah, no brainer there. Paid $22 for this. In this batch, I got all size 2XL. I think I got 4. All of them have sold. The lowest one sold for 50, which was actually this one. And then I had one sell for like 67 something in last month's video, I think. And then I had 2 like over $100 sales from Robert Graham. So if you find the very unique and intricate ones, they still can be good, even though they are a bit more saturated than they used to be. But the really loud ones are still amazing. Okay, here we have some Judy blue jeans. This is a good example of what I was just mentioning. These sold way faster and for more money on Poshmark than they would have on eBay. These were NuaTags, 90s straight high waist was the model name. Judy Blue is a good brand that sells fast, but I wouldn't say the average sales price is super high. So I would recommend picking up if it's cheap, or really good styles and cuts can get you more of a premium like this, more straight leg, high waisted, and NuaTags. Okay, here's a little subtle bolo, Alex Crane. These are a women's pair of linen pants. Here's the logo for you. It's just Alex Crane spelled out in this triangle. I actually looked up their website to figure out the details on these pants. When I felt them, they just felt really nice. I felt linen, so I knew to look it up. And they actually have extremely high retail prices. It is a slower selling brand online, but has a very good ASP. So I would definitely look up anytime you find Alex Crane anything. I've only found the pants, but both pairs of pants I found at the same time. I paid $6 for them. The other one sold for like 75, and these sold for 59. So no complaints there. All right, here we have a $45 shoe sale. I picked these up for $20 at the Kohl's half off clearance event sale. Not making huge margins on this, but when you are buying the new retail and online arbitrage inventory, you can expect lower margins. So I'm still happy with making my, $15 after fees and everything, only spending 20 to make 15, but they sold quick and I knew where that sale was. So I was already heading to that store. So really no additional time into that. Really easy to take pictures of these and list these. Once again, I do prefer higher margins these days. I used to do a lot more of this stuff, but I will take it if it's there. Just because I'm already at the store, I want to make it worth my time. Okay, here's an item I don't necessarily recommend picking up. I paid up for this actually 2 summers ago, so not the summer we are just like exiting or finishing up, but over a whole year ago, I picked up this Patagonia wetsuit. It was new at tags. I couldn't find anything like it on eBay at the time, so I thought it was rare. I had it listed for like $250 for a super long time. I was slowly decreasing the price, slowly. I think it got down to like 75 bucks, and somebody sent me a $45 offer, and I jumped on it because I was just tired of looking at this thing. I don't know if this is actually a very good item or not. I would have thought, like, even if I never bought and sold this item, if I just saw it now, I'd probably be like, oh, that's sweet. But I would definitely look into it, do some research. I couldn't find anything like a year ago. I haven't done any research recently, but definitely pause on the Patagonia wetsuits from my experience. Okay, here we have another Marshalls find. I picked up 3 pairs of corduroy pants from that yellow tag Marshalls sale. One was $6, one was $9, and one was $11. I don't know which one this was, but either way, 42 bucks. Yeah, I have really good luck with the Levi's corduroy pants, especially in the fall and winter. Even used, if I can get them cheap, they don't sell for a lot of money, but they sell pretty quickly. And then obviously new at tags, you're going to get a little bit more. So I was able to get 42 bucks. I usually sell new at tags Levi's between 30 and 40 bucks. So the corduroy, that just shows you they are a little bit of a premium. Carrie's here. What's up? Happy Friday. Here we have a Stephen Barry's jacket. This was in my day in the life video that I just recently posted. I paid $7, I think, for this. Men's small, so I thought this would take longer to sell. Sold super fast with the football season starting. College stuff is really flying for me. Sold for 40 bucks. So 7 into 40. It's very good. Okay, here's a cool one. A vintage Carhartt jacket from the 90s. Sold for 100 bucks. I probably could have held out for a bit more if I found the right buyer and as we're heading into the fall and winter season. But like I mentioned, when you're having really bad sales, sometimes you just want to accept that offer. Hi, I am, but it's no problem. No problem. So sorry, I got sidetracked there. If you waited until fall and winter, you could probably find the right buyer. All right. How about this? How about this? Can you guys hear me now? All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I think I changed it, so we should be good. All right. Anyway, what I was saying with the Carhartt jacket, if you missed it, was basically the tag was cut. Audio, no video. Yes, it's just sharing my screen right now because my mother-in-law was walking through here and I wanted to not have her on camera. Anyway, what I was saying was the tag was cut on that Carhartt jacket So I had to price it a bit lower because I was kind of guessing on the size and the model. I was guessing on the size and the model color and all that stuff. I was using Google Lens to kind of figure out what those things were. And it is a rare color. So there are some really good comps on eBay. But because I didn't have the exact specifics and there was a company logo on it, I did price it cheaper. And happy to accept a $100 offer on, a bad sales week. All right. Then after that, I was talking about these page joggers. The comps on eBay were not nearly $80, and these sold really fast for the full price of $80 on Poshmark. And that is just another testament to sometimes Poshmark is just really good for specific items, and very happy about that sale. Retail price was $225, so I definitely listed it way over the comps, just kind of hoping to find the right buyer and get a really good sale. And that happened on Poshmark. All right, we're to eBay here. These shorts sold for a little over $40 plus shipping. I have Autoposh for sending automatic 10% off offers, so sold for 40 and some change. But the brand here is called Legends, not Legend, not Legend, Legends. I always get them confused. It's Legends is good, Legend is bad. These were the Luka shorts, which I could see right here on the tag. 400% sell-through rate on Luka shorts, new tags when I looked them up, because I did have to pay up for these. There were 20 listed and 80 sold at the time when I looked these up, and they sold in a couple days for $40. So really good item. Probably a lower ASP brand, but a really high sell-through rate brand. All right, another kind of understated bolo, similar to that Alex Crane brand. This brand is called State and Liberty. Right here, you can see this S and L. That's how you can know that you have this brand, because their tag doesn't say State and Liberty anywhere on it. There usually is like a hang tag here that does have some more information, but it still doesn't say the brand. So this is definitely one to be on the lookout for. It sold in a day for $40 plus shipping, that same 10% off offer. And this was even with like a pretty significant stain on the shoulder, in my opinion. Like for a dress shirt, I think a stain on the shoulder is like, I usually wouldn't even pick it up. So this is probably worth even significantly more than that $40 range if it sold with with the stain for $40 in one day. So very, very good brand and item to be on the lookout for. I think a lot of their tags have like a guy that's like flexing as like thing, and it means like athletic fit or something like that. If you see it when it still has that tag before it's been cut out. Here we have an Adidas tracksuit. I was really worried about this. When I picked this up, I think I paid $15 for the full set. Or actually 12, because 25% off of 15. But when I went to go list it, I saw that the jacket was size 3X and the pants were size 4X. So I thought this would take forever to sell, but it actually sold relatively quickly. I mean, I listed it on July 26th and it sold on August 10th. So what is that, like basically 2 weeks? So full price sale of $40 plus shipping. Full tracksuits, I'm very bullish on those. For some reason, they always sell great for me, always sell fast. So I recommend looking up when it has the top and the matching bottom. I always look them up. I don't always buy them, but I do always look them up. Here we have a Grayson polo. This just had a super cool print. That's why it sold for good money. It was size 2XL, so the sell-through rate and the price as well. So between being size 2XL, having this really cool all over print, then we're looking at, $40 polo. I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit here so we can get you guys the information. I talked about this in one of my videos. This is a pair of Orvis Ventile pants. This is a very good line within Orvis. Orvis is not a very good brand in my opinion, but they do have just a few really, really good items still, and you really want to know what those are on those brands you come across pretty frequently. So these sold for $42 plus shipping. Sold very fast. There were not many listed and sold, but the sell through rate was very high on the Orvis Ventile. I want to say there were like two listed and three sold, or three listed and four sold, or something like that. So that told me that it is a desirable item. There's just not a ton in the market. Ventile is what you're looking for, and it actually just has a patch inside on the back pocket. Here we have some diesel jeans. These had a really nice look to them. Crispy white, distressed. Diesel jeans have been selling like hotcakes for me, so I just pretty much pick them up anytime I can. Even if I'm paying up, I still will look it up to see if it's worth it for that specific model, because they just sell so fast for me. I mean, these ones took 2 weeks, 2 weeks to sell. I think these actually sold on offer for maybe 40 or 45. But either way, I usually pick these up anytime they're 15 or less. Yeah, I can't be happier with the diesel jeans lately. They've just been flying. Here we have a Tommy Bahama shirt. You guys know, if you've been here, Nuitags Tommy Bahama really flies for me. This is an Island Zone model, so I do think that it could have sold for even more. I had it priced really high, 68 bucks, and then it hit my sale, which brought it down to 47.50. I do think this could have sold for even more if we were in the right season still. But I probably listed this really high, like in summer, when summer was going strong. But I was happy that this sold before we really got into. All right, can you guys see me now? Frozen Bolo. Okay, we're back. We back. Ethan's here. He says, "Don't forget to like the stream." I agree. I appreciate it. All right. Anyway, I've never seen these before. Brooks Brothers Performance Series Tech Pants. These were new at Tag. I'd never seen these before, but just the performance items from most brands, I do feel like sell just a little bit better. So I went ahead and took a gamble on these. I think I only paid like $7.50 or something like that for them, and they sold for 40 bucks plus shipping. Okay, another thing that I always come back to are the outerwear items from those kind of mid-level brands. Vineyard Vines, to me, is a very mid brand at best, but their outerwear sells really well for me. This quilted puffer vest sold for 40 bucks plus shipping. Sold super quick, 10 days. No complaints on that. Yeah, sells quick, sells for good sales price. So you're trying to find those elevated items within kind of the basic brands, because those more substantial items just are better. Would you rather find like a basic Lululemon t-shirt, or the best item you can find in some of these more easy to find brands? I try to find both, but the best items in those mid brands have done super well for me. Here we have some G-Star Raw jeans. These sold for 45 bucks plus shipping. I'm not sure why it doesn't show that there's an offer, but these were size 44 by 34, and they were a skinny fit. So to me, that's a bad size and a bad cut, and they still sold for 45 bucks plus shipping, super fast. G-Star Raw, just like Diesel, they just sell super fast for me, so I just try to pick them up anytime I can see them. Here's a kind of interesting one. This was a Porsche. I don't know how you say that. Porsche. I'm not a car guy. Sorry. Anyway, this was just a plain t-shirt, but it did have this little new tags tag thing here, but the tag itself was missing. So I listed this as new without tags. I used Google Lens with this picture right here to figure out this is the Crest Essential tee. When I looked this up, there were comps of like $75 to $85 in new condition. So I listed just under that because mine was like new without tags. Um, but I got an offer for 50 and I took it when I was having a bad sales day, and no complaints because I only paid, I think, 750 for it, or maybe $6. Yeah, I got it cheap. So a really good sale there. High end luxury brands in anything, I would look up any apparel that kind of points to those. So if you find Porsche, if you find Lamborghini, um, Formula F1 stuff, Rolls Royce, any high end car things, racing things, definitely be looking those up. Okay, here we have an Under Armour jacket. This was new at tags. I used this style code right here, 1355118, to figure out this was the full zip sprint hybrid jacket. I used those keywords in my title, obviously, and it sold full price for 48 bucks plus shipping. Really happy this sold quickly. I thought this would be a slower selling item because there's really nothing like too loud or crazy or unique about it. But yeah, new at tags, un, Under Armour outerwear. Yeah, I guess that's something I'm going to keep looking up and trying to flip. Okay, here we have a new at tags Tommy Bahama shirt. Again, this was from the Marshalls yellow tag sale. Once again, I paid 20 bucks for this, sold it quickly in one day for 48 bucks plus shipping. With the retail arbitrage finds, uh, I do try to price them very aggressively and sell them very quickly. Um, Once people go out and find all those items, like say there's hundreds of these in all different Marshalls, if all the people go out and buy those and then come back and list them, this is going to be a very difficult item to sell, especially with the season turning over to fall. So when I do find retail arbitrage finds, I am very eager to sell them. So I'm very happy with 20 into 48 plus shipping. I would do that all the time if I could, especially when it's selling in one day. Listed on August 1st, sold on August 2nd. Here we have some True Religion jeans. I think these ones sold for so much because they have that classic signature flap pocket, and they were an inseam of 36. I rarely find inseam 36. So I think those two things combined, I listed these for a premium price, and they sold. Let's see how long they took to sell. Sold in 2 days. So 2 days, 50 bucks. Very happy with that. I can't remember what video I was talking about this with you guys, but the style code on this was CU9773. So I looked that up, figured out this was the Nike Repel Anorak Golf half zip jacket. Kind of a mouthful there, but when I felt this, I could just feel that it was super high quality. Like it was super thick. It felt waterproof. I don't know if it actually is. But yeah, when I felt this, I knew it would be nice. Nike's another one of those brands, like the better outerwear pieces, the more loud pieces, still sell for such good money. They have so many good collaborations, new at tags, all those things just really help elevate the value and can make a very common brand sell really well. All right, here we have an item from my thrift haul battle with the Resale Brothers. This was a Disney Spirit jersey with Pluto the dog, obviously. There were lots of comps in the $40 to $50 range. I listed mine high because there weren't any listed currently in this size, but it did have stains on the front. So I accepted an offer of 53, which was still above the current market. So really happy with that sale. I paid 15 bucks for that, so I did pay up a little bit, but it sold super fast. Like I said, for 53 plus shipping. Here's another one from a recent video. I'll go quick on this. I think I paid 12 bucks, maybe 15 bucks for this Abercrombie and Fitch jacket. This is just the classic chore coat. It's got all these cool utility pockets on there. Field coat, chore coat, barn coat, Adirondack jacket. All those things are really good keywords to get into your titles on this particular style of jacket. I don't really know what the difference is between all those, but all those are good keywords to get eyeballs on your jacket. Sold really fast for 42 plus shipping. And here we have some Mavi jeans. These were new at tags. Really, the only reason they sold for so much money. Used, I feel like they're pretty slow sellers. But new at tags in those kind of mid-level brands, I do like to take the gamble on them just because the retail price is so high. Retail on these was 118 bucks. So somebody still got a deal at 50 bucks plus shipping. And yeah, really, really stoked for those to sell for 50. And basically same thing with this, the Perfect Jean NYC. Here's the tag. This is also embroidered like on the back pocket, this little TPJ logo. These were the slim thick model. Pretty much same thing. I think the retail price on these is like 120 bucks and sold for 50. So if I find something with that high of a retail price, if there's enough sell-through rate to justify it, I'm going to pick it up and try to flip it. This jacket was awesome. This was a canvas jacket from the brand Line of Trade. I just could tell that this was super high quality material when I felt this. So I was very eager to look it up, and it had some kind of up and down comps. I listed at the top of the market, sold super fast for full price. So I would definitely be inclined to, look this brand up more. I did see it when I was out thrifting yesterday in a flannel. And when I looked up the flannels, the comps were not very good. So I don't think this is necessarily a Bolo brand, but it is a brand that definitely has potential because this jacket sold quick for 50. All right, let's see how you guys are doing. So if the comps are higher on Poshmark for an item, would you even list it on eBay? I list everything on eBay and then cross list to Poshmark. That's just my current flow, like the flow of my business. But I do think that there could be some merit to that thought process. But for me, I'm just focused on eBay, and Poshmark is just like a bonus on top. So I don't really focus on Poshmark. I don't look up comps on Poshmark. I just kind of go with my gut on Poshmark. When I list something on eBay and I'm like, oh, this looks like a Poshmark item, like maybe it's women's or maybe it has a specific aesthetic, I just kind of bump up the price on Poshmark and hope for the best. And if all else fails, it will fall into my eBay, slowly marking down my items on eBay and eventually lower the price and sell there. Vineyard Vine blazers also sell. I've never found one of their blazers, but I've heard that as well. What's up, Jared? John says, this is random, but do you log each item you buy on a spreadsheet? If so, how do you tie that into the same item when you sell it? I try to tell you guys what I pay for items just for context, so you can kind of relate on an item by item basis. But I personally do not track what I spend on each item. I just track how much I spend on inventory total over the course of the entire year. And then that's how my accountant figures out those numbers for my taxes. But I would recommend, talking to your accountant and figuring out how they would like you to track that. Do you sell any Ralph Lauren men's blazers? Yes, I sell ones that have upgraded materials like silk or linen, navy with gold buttons. I don't know why, but those ones always sell well for me. Or if I just get it super, super, super cheap and it's in perfect condition, I would just list it and let it sell slow. Miss Lachey says, yep, got to take those offers sometimes or you be waiting for a while. Exactly. And so that's why sometimes I just take the offer, especially if you're having slower sales. Sometimes you just got to take it. All right, here we have some more diesel jeans. These were the Zathan boot cut. These ones were made in Italy, so I thought that they might be a better model, and the fact that they're boot cut, so they had a wider leg opening. I figured that would help the value. These sold for 50 bucks plus shipping. I just keep buying these because they keep selling, so I'm going to keep buying them until they don't sell. Here we have a Brooks Brothers blazer. This one was from the 346 line, and it was their stretch wool model, I think. It did have some spandex in the material as well. I just pretty much figured that out all from right here. I mean, it has the size, 46R, wool, spandex, Brooks Brothers 346 stretch. Once again, I'm not really a blazer expert. I'm just looking it up as I come across it. Brooks Brothers is probably more like a hit or miss blazer brand. But when I looked this one up, it seemed to do well. So yeah, happy it sold. Okay, I'm really proud of this one. I kind of went with my gut. I paid 15 bucks for this at my local Goodwill. There were really no comps, and the comps that there were a lot lower than I would want to sell this item paying 15. There were a couple like $30 to $35 sales. But when I saw this item, it just screamed to me Y2K aesthetic. I know that's what's in style. I knew that fall was coming. So I just trusted my gut and picked it up for 15 bucks. Sometimes it's okay to trust your gut. Don't do it every time or you might go broke. But in this instance, I paid 15 bucks for it and it sold for 53 bucks plus shipping. I knew with this really cool fur Sherpa lining, however you want to call that, the flannel outside, this like very Y2K logo. Just keyworded it up, listed it high, and we sold it on that automatic 10% offer. Okay, here we have a Taylor Swift sweatshirt. I do not recommend listing your Taylor Swift items on eBay. I just hear so many people saying that she's giving Veros. I've never received one. I've sold a few Taylor Swift items, but honestly, I wouldn't risk it. Just being a full-time reseller, I really need my eBay account healthy. So at this point, I probably would just list on Poshmark since I can, and it also probably sells better on Poshmark anyway, just from the demographic. But all that being said, this sold for 55 bucks plus shipping. I paid 25 for it, or 25% off of 25, so 20-ish bucks. And it's, sold quickly. So yeah, once again, I don't necessarily recommend listing on eBay, but I already had this listed and sold before I was hearing that. So yeah, it is what it is at this point. I know that it's an authentic item, so hopefully that's fine. Here we have a golf club sold for 50 bucks plus shipping. I'll keep this part short. I basically got some new clubs for my birthday, so I was trying to sell off some stuff I was replacing to kind of upgrade other things within my bag, and this is just one of the things that got replaced and sold it. So happy to put that money back into more golf stuff because that's my favorite hobby right now. So. All right, here we have some Brooks running shoes. Ghost line is excellent in Brooks. If you find Brooks Ghost men's, any of the recent models, they're going to sell really well. This white with like the gray camo, I knew this would sell great. It did have some discoloration here, so I probably could have held out for that full 70 if they were in perfect condition, but I got an offer of 55 and I just took it because I knew that they weren't really in like perfect aesthetic condition, even though they had great tread and everything. Paid $750 for those, so no complaints there. Another excellent shoe to be on the lookout for are Birkenstock Bostons. That's this kind of clog mule kind of style. These ones were also shearling lined. You can see the kind of fuzz there. These ones weren't even honestly in great condition. They sold for full price, super fast, I think in less than a day. These were in perfect condition. Probably could have sold for even more, but this style of shoe, the Birkenstock Boston, is just super hot. So if you can find it at a reasonable price, I definitely recommend picking it up. Here we have another understated bolo, Johnson Motors. I found that on this tag here, Johnson Motors, obviously. I typed in Johnson Motors Henley, had well over 100% sell-through rate and really good sales prices. So I was very happy to find this. It just kind of stuck out to me as like a unique item. That's why I looked it up. I had never heard anything about this before finding this item. But yeah, I was really happy that I looked it up when I did because it sold great. I think it sold at an offer for 55 or 65. Can't quite remember, but still well over $50 sale and sold really fast. Really great item. Here we have another new at Tags Brooks Brothers item. The long sleeve polos sell really well for me in Brooks Brothers when they're new at Tags. Sold for 52 bucks plus shipping. I paid $750 for this. Sold quick. Yeah, new at Tags Brooks Brothers, Polo Ralph Lauren, Vineyard Vines, those kind of mid-level but expensive retail brands. When I find them new at Tags, they're just always doing amazing in my store. So I just keep picking them up. All right, here we have a vintage Columbia jacket. This is like a tree bark camo. It's not like traditional tree bark, but kind of looks like tree bark, if that makes sense. I think this is the Mossy Oak logo, this little tree here. Either way, where I found a radial sleeve was on the tag here. So that's just another keyword to add to the title. I did pay up for this. I paid 25 bucks for this, but once again, it was just one of those items I didn't want to leave for the competition. I sold out an offer for, I think, $55. So not huge margins, but still a really good selling item. And if you found it at your thrift store for, a more typical thrift price, would definitely be an item I'd pick up. All right, here we have some indoor soccer shoes. It's getting to be fall, so people are going to be playing outside and then they're going to be playing inside. So I'm not surprised these sold at this time of year for 60 bucks plus shipping. Paid 15 bucks for these at the thrift store. Really nothing too crazy here. I would just recommend anytime you find new tags in any major brand, you're just going to look it up, and that's all I did to figure that one out. Okay, here we have some Jordan 1 lows. I picked this pair up, a pair of another pair of Jordans, Jordan 1 mids, and a new inbox pair of men's Ugg boots for 40 bucks at a garage sale. So what is that? 13.33 per item. Really happy these sold for 66 bucks. The other ones sold for 72 on Poshmark. And ironically enough, when I'm making this video, the Ugg boots that sold for 75 bucks plus shipping. So 40 into all three of those sales. That was like a very good, quick garage sale stop. It was the only thing really at that garage sale were just a few pairs of shoes. I bought them all. And yeah, really happy about that. Any Jordans, you're going to want to be looking them up. I'm not really in the know on how to authenticate them. If it's a more expensive model, I definitely would have been more worried about it. But since this was like not a super high end model, I didn't really look into it too much other than obviously they felt nice and looked real and all the logos lined up and the style code matched up and all that good stuff. All right, we got another Y2K. This was in my thrift haul challenge with Dusty and Yumbo. This brand is called Dragonfly. Size XL, just this classic all over print, kind of rayon material, kind of Hawaiian shirt. I don't really know. But I had actually found this shirt a long time ago and sold it one time for $50. This time I had more experience. I put in better keywords, better pictures, listed it for 70 and it sold quick for 70. So Dragonfly is not necessarily a Bolo brand, but they do have a few Bolo items. Some of their prints don't really sell great, but I definitely recommend looking them up because they can. Same thing with jerseys. Look up any jersey that you find. I just am always shocked at which ones are worth something and which ones aren't. This Italy jersey sold for 50 bucks plus shipping on an offer. I used Google Lens to figure out this was the 2020-2021 home football jersey or home jersey, football, soccer, just trying to get in some keywords there. Yeah, 50 bucks plus shipping. Great sale. If you watch my fall thrift haul, my words are just not coming easy to me today. I apologize. This was one of the items I picked up. I paid 22 bucks for this Carhartt FR jacket. This stands for flame resistant. Use this code right here, J198. Their FR models will be FR J198 and the regular models will be just J198. So use that to figure out more details about this jacket. There were not really any listed FR J198. So I listed high, what I thought was high at 70 bucks plus shipping, and it sold in one day for full price. So maybe underpriced that one a little bit. Here we have an amazing pair of jeans. This is an amazing brand to be on your Bolo list. Hiroshi Kato. Here's the tag that you're looking for. It's literally a pair of pants is the logo, but Hiroshi Kato pants. They make selvage denim. That's this little red line on the seam inside the cuff. These sold for 90 bucks plus $10 in shipping, and they sold super fast. It's just like an amazing item. Okay, here we have one from my vintage hat haul. This vintage Baltimore Ravens hat sold for 100 bucks plus shipping. Once again, with football coming, I was so determined to hold out for 150 bucks. But my sales were so bad when I got a $100 offer, I just took it. I have pennies into these hats at this point. I made a killing on that hat haul. So I'm happy this will go to a collector. Or a fan. They're gonna get a great deal on this. I love these embroidered hats. If this was a Cleveland Browns diamond cut hat, it would have just gone straight to my collection. I just think these are super, super cool. All right, let's check up on you guys. Van says, I'm a beginner, so I take all offers. Is that bad for my store? I think it's actually good for your store to accept offers because eBay knows that you're willing to accept an offer and you're willing to, sell your items. Um, I wouldn't say necessarily accepting all offers because if you say you have something listed for $100 and somebody sends you a $5 offer, I wouldn't necessarily accept that. But I do recommend being really aggressive with accepting offers because you never know when you're going to have that chance again to make that sale. So if I can close a deal profitably, I try to accept that offer anytime I can because you never know when the next one's coming. Hey, Cha-Ching King's in the house. Y2K is strong right now. Thanks for being here, man. Y2K is strong right now. I mean, the wide leg baggy jeans, they're killing it. Kind of those things like that thing that I was showing you, like those older Y2K logos. Eric says, just sold a Swift Tour sweatshirt. I certainly wouldn't do it again. Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, I like I said, I already had it done. But yeah, I'm gonna list those on Poshmark now. That's a new one to me. Be sure to give Caleb a thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, Cha-Ching King with the $10. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that's my first super chat in a long time, maybe 6 months. So I really appreciate that. It's really, really kind. Definitely don't have to do that. Go check out Cha-Ching King's channel. He makes amazing videos, amazing tutorials specifically. I really appreciate those videos from him. Learned a ton from him. Vintage hats are bangers. Yeah, I was so blessed by that haul. Go Chiefs. Hey, they won last night. I guess I wasn't even thinking that the Ravens already played their first game. I'm so excited to watch football. It was so fun last night. I was eating buffalo chicken dip and watching football. Just really it was an amazing night. Thank you for taking my lowball offer on the hat. Well, that's still quite a pretty penny to pay for a hat. I definitely wouldn't pay $100 for a hat for myself, even if it was super cool. But Bobby's Kick says, do you use a cross lister? Yes. Link down below is Autoposher. I highly, highly, highly recommend Autoposher if you're going to cross list. They use AI to make things very, very easy. It saves a ton of clicks from the other softwares I've used, and I've had no problems using their auto delist feature. I had problems with other softwares not delisting my items when they sold, even though they said they were. And I've had zero issues since starting Autoposher. That was the reason I stopped cross-listing to begin with. So I'm just thrilled with their service. You do get a 7-day free trial. It does cap out at 20 listings, but you can do enough to get a taste for it using my code down below, and also gets you $5 off. It's not much, but it's something, and I just really love the software. It's not for me to make money. I just actually think it's that good. Nora says, I'm rather new to reselling, only 2 months. This might be a dumb question, but what is a Vero? I don't remember exactly what it stands for. I think it's verification something rights owner, maybe. But basically what it is if you're selling a brand that they don't want you selling their item, they can go in and say you are verified rights owner. Scott's quick with it. Basically, a company tells eBay that your item is not legit. Yeah. So an item from a brand, they want you to not sell their item. So they'll go say their item's fake or their item's not legit. And then you get a strike on your account and your item taken down. Even if it is a legit item, they're just doing that to try to protect their brand and the market for their items. All right, let's finish up these items. I have 4 items left. Here we have an Abercrombie & Fitch hoodie. Speaking of Y2K, this is the epitome of Y2K. This was a New Tags hoodie. I listed it high. I didn't see any comps at the $70 mark, but because this is the Y2K aesthetic, I just list it high and let it fly, and it sold for full price of $70 plus shipping. These big, chunky lettering things, that's another classic Y2K style. Here we have another pair of Jordans. These ones did go through the authenticity program. They were pretty beat. These probably were worth a lot more if they were in perfect condition, but you can see there's staining on the laces. I tried to point out any of the flaws. There was a kind of a big indentation in the leather right here and a discoloration. I paid 15 bucks for these because of the condition. Normally these would be priced up really high at my thrift stores. But yeah, I'm happy to take the scraps, so to say, and sell these to somebody that's either going to wear them as is and just enjoy them, or maybe they're going to do a little bit of a restoration project. We'll see. All right, these last two items go hand in hand. This is a retail arbitrage sale. I bought this item, and actually I bought two of these and one other item at Home Depot for $40 each. It is quite a bit of investment, for an item, but I have experience selling these Halloween or seasonal items from the past. And I was just happened to be at Home Depot looking at flooring for our kitchen with my wife, and I saw that they were bringing out the Halloween items. And I know that there's a very specific niche market for dog specific holiday items. So you can see here that this is a golden retriever. People that have or like golden retrievers really love them. They're willing to pay up to get one that like maybe looks like their dog or a dog that they used to have or something along those lines. And there was none listed and none sold of this item. So I shot my shot at 200 bucks a piece, 150 bucks plus $50 shipping, and they both sold in just 2 days. So these are expensive to ship. Luckily, they were just pulling these off the pallet at Home Depot. So I asked them if I could keep them in the box that they arrived to Home Depot in. So I didn't have to go find a box or make a box or anything like that. Luckily, all three dogs, and I'll show you the other one. The other one is a glow in the dark black lab. All three of these sold to the New York and New Jersey area, which for me was actually really close. So I was very thankful they weren't to like California because the shipping could have really added up fast on me. But it did cost me, I think, between $25 and $30 to that region. If it would have gone to California, it probably would have been like $50 to $75 to ship. But either way, the nice thing is that when you're taking the margins from $40 to $200, you definitely have some wiggle room in there to still make a good profit. All right, those were my very best sales. When you're having some bad sales, getting $600 in sales in just 3 items was definitely a game changer for my month. It definitely was a nice little boost, and it kind of got me through those slower weeks. And now I'm back to selling those fall items, those jackets. My sales have been really popping this month. So when I make the $40 plus video for next month, it's going to be a long one because I'm selling a ton of jackets already. I'm listing them now, and they're selling super, super fast. So I'm very excited to be sharing with you guys what I'm selling this fall and winter. Once again, if you're here and you still haven't subscribed or hit the like button, definitely do so. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys. Had a lot of fun sharing my best sales. And like I said, August was a roller coaster. So I'm hoping things smooth out as we head into September. My sales are looking up. Hope you guys are too. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.